Hello and welcome to our first episode at Everything Real Estate with Rumbie. And today we have a very interesting topic for discussion. We are talking about digitalization of title deeds and land development in Zimbabwe. Today with me, I have a special guest, and I kindly ask Tina, please introduce yourself, your credentials, and your main areas of legal expertise.
Thank you, Rumbie, for hosting me.
You're welcome.
On your show.
Yes.
My name is Tina Kadao. I'm a legal practitioner with more than 16 years work experience. I'm the founding partner of T. Kadao Law Chambers.
Yes.
We have a branch in Harare where we have our head office and another branch in Chegutu.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also sitting in the council for the Law Society of Zimbabwe, representing Harare constituency.
Interesting. So can you kindly clarify which portfolios do you handle at the firm and which portfolios do you really major in under your law firm?
Okay.
Yes.
I hold a master's in land and natural resources law. So
Wow.
I'm the current head of a department within our firm, which is infrastructure,
Yes.
energy, and mining.
Interesting. I'm happy with your credentials. Now, as you've heard, it's all about real estate under this roof, and I would want you to break it down. Why is it important for listener out there to engage a legal practitioner when about to transact in land or when they want to develop? How is a legal practitioner relevant in real estate? Maybe we can take it from there.
To the audience listening out there,
Yeah.
it's really important to engage a legal practitioner when you want to do a land sale transaction
Okay.
or a development project. The reason is that lawyers are trained. We actually do a course which is called Conveyancing, and upon graduation you are issued with a certificate. So what am I trying to say? I'm saying not all lawyers are conveyancers.
That's correct.
And not all lawyers are authorized to deal with sale transactions.
That's correct.
So engaging a legal practitioner will protect your interests.
Not just a legal practitioner, engaging a
A
conveyancer.
Yes,
Perfect. Well
that
said.
is correct. I agree with you, Rumbie.
Yeah, that's
You
well
have
said.
to engage a conveyancer because a conveyancer has been trained pertaining conveyancing work. They truly understand what they are supposed to do, drafting the requisite documents that need to be filed.
That's correct.
They also know the red flags. So it is very important for you to protect yourself because nowadays there are a lot of cases that are mushrooming containing fraud regarding to transactions where parties want to do a sale agreement.
Yeah. Interesting. And you are a conveyancer yourself.
Indeed.
All right. So why is it important for, I covered that, why is it important for property buyers to engage you? And now we also want to look at the current title deeds that are in the market right now. How can one be able to identify and see that this particular title deed is authentic?
Okay. A title deed is a very special document. It's the one which demonstrates ownership when it comes to land or a piece of building.
Okay.
Yes. So as conveyancers, we have been trained to see at the essential, to know and identify the essential features
Yes.
when it comes to a title deed.
Yes.
For example, a title deed has got a reference number, which is issued by the Deeds Registry Office.
Okay.
That's the first thing that you have to look at. And when you're looking at a title deed, you also look at the ownership, the person who is on that title deed,
Right.
who demonstrates who owns that property.
Okay.
Another essential feature is the description
Yes.
of the property.
Yes.
It has to be clearly described so you know what you are buying and you know how big the space is, or if it's a building. You also have to see how it is described. If it's a 3-bedroom house,
Right.
it's usually put in the title deed.
deed.
Yes, those are some of the essential features. However, there are other very important features that you have to look at. You have to look for the seal,
Yes.
the registrar's seal
All right.
at the back.
Yes.
Where the registrar signs and endorses.
His
that-
watermark seal.
Yes, he endorses that this office has generated this title deed.
Okay.
Lawyers draft the draft deed.
All right.
And then it is lodged with the deeds office.
All right.
Then the deeds office do their processes, and eventually the registrar signs and issues the title deed in the name of the new owner. So those are the essential things. In addition to that, there is usually a diagram which is annexed to the title deed.
Right.
So this diagram clearly indicates
The boundaries.
the boundaries.
Yeah.
Indeed, it clearly indicates the boundaries. So you can see the shape, you can see the coordinates, you can see how big the land is.
Interesting. So Atina, why I'm asking this is inyaya dziri kuitika mu society whereby you can actually have Muno who's convincing the buyer to say ndinawo mapepa. They will be said mapepa, if I can use that term. I have the paperwork. But upon signing and you say submit the paperwork that is there, you'll be surprised that this document is even a cancellation or an agreement from a previous owner, and it's not a title deed. So whilst I'm talking about, it would sound like repetition, but I'm kindly asking, take us through again the key features of a title deed, just in summary, to list that a title deed should be 1, 2, 3, 4. To assist our viewers out there, because I know for the record you cannot identify it as a mere person, as an ordinary person. Like she said, go to the conveyancer. But basically, before you even approach the conveyancer, for me to be able to see, okay, this is the title deed. I think is it written title deed? Is it written? What is it? What is there? What should I at least see on the page to say, okay, I think this is a title deed? I'm talking about my mother in Mutarede, who is not a legal practitioner. If you can take us through.
Okay, I will not take much of your time.
Okay.
All right. So like I said before, there is the deed number, which is at the top.
All right.
So usually it's a number which is followed by the year which the title deed was issued.
Okay.
For example, it can be 1020 stroke 26, which shows that this title deed was generated as number 1020 and in the year 26.
Okay.
Then it's also endorsed deed of transfer. And on top you also see the name of the lawyer who did this transaction,
Yes.
who drafted the title deeds and lodged the title deeds with the deeds office.
All right.
Then there is also the name of the owner. For example, if you want to buy the property, the name of the person who wishes
You're
to
buying
sell,
from, yes.
yes, who wishes to sell the property to you has to be on the title deed. If it's a company, it has to be on the title deed. Their date of birth as well, it has to be on the title deed. And also their registration national number, it should be on the title deed.
Okay.
The description of the property should be
yes.
on the title deed.
Right.
Then the purchase price
Should
they
also be
bought the property should be on the title deed.
That's correct.
Most importantly, you should look out for the seal, the registrar seal, the deeds of registry, where the title deeds are issued. There should be a seal endorsed at the back,
All right.
which shows that the registrar is the one who has issued this title deed and it is genuine. Then there is also a diagram which clearly shows the extent and the boundaries of that property.
Okay.
Those are the essential features.
Thank you so much.
And the signature of the lawyer who drafted the title deed
Yes.
should be there as well.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's quite interesting. Does your title deed have all that? Let's move on to the issue of due diligence, because someone out there is asking, Saka due diligence, kungotarisa zvawataura, because possibly they are listing kuti gwetarat 1, 2, 3, 4. So now they want to know if due diligence all about just looking at the things that you have said. Unpack due diligence to us. What is due diligence? Nyaya yanetsa. Waenda ku due diligence ere. Over to you, Gweta.
Okay. I would like to let the listeners who are watching out there to know that nyaya ye-due diligence hakusi kuti magweta vanenge vachida kungodya mari.
That's correct.
As a sitting councillor with the Law Society of Zimbabwe,
Yes.
we have what is called a tariff,
Right.
which sets out the charges
Okay.
that are supposed to be charged by legal practitioners.
Wait a minute. So are you saying it's not just a figure out of the blues that someone decides to say, I will charge you 1,000?
No, it's not just a figure.
Yeah.
Okay, there are tariffs which guide.
Yes.
So there's certain work that you cannot overcharge or undercharge.
Okay.
And this tariff regulates how lawyers should charge according to the years of experience. Yes. So what I want to let the public know is that when lawyers are saying, come, pay your consultation fees,
Yes.
we open a file, then pay your fees so that we do the due diligence. It's not just because they just want to make money out of you.
Yes.
They're actually authorized by the regulator
To
do
do
that
Okay.
and to charge.
All right.
I will not specifically say how much they charge because it varies according to the nature
Years
of the
of
work.
experience.
Yes,
Yeah.
because maybe due diligence has to be done in America. You cannot charge the same amount for someone who is doing due diligence right here in Harare.
All right. All right.
Yes.
So what will you be doing now? The amount has been paid. They have agreed. What is the lawyer going to look at, which gives me security to say my property is okay, or she says your property is not a good transaction?
Okay. Lawyer anoita, it's an investigation.
Right?
Those noreva due diligence. Kutsvagurudza. There are certain offices dzinopindwa. Hatigari pasi tinodzifambira nyaya dzacho kusvika tagutsikana.
Indeed, right, ma'am?
Yes. So in our case, we are talking about someone who has got a title deed. I've talked about the features that should be on a title deed.
That's correct.
So the lawyer will look at those things first of all because they know how a genuine, authentic title deed is drafted. Some fake title deeds, by mere looking at it and perusing it, you can tell something is wrong with this document, right? So the lawyer will then go to the deeds registry office right here in Harare.
All right.
Yes. If it's a property, Harare.
All right.
Then the lawyer goes there, oita mas, oibhadhara search fee, pane mari dzinotobhadharwa.
Okay.
Rochagwa title deed here because the registrar keeps records of all title deeds. Anenge I issue
A duplicate of the same.
a duplicate of the same.
Okay.
So the lawyer will investigate and look what you have provided them to see if it matches with what is in the system. Then there are also offices dzinopindwa. At times the land might also require for one kutosvika kwasurveyor general chaivo.
Right. Because some of these title deeds, they don't have the diagrams like what you're mentioning.
Mamwe anenge asina. But mamwewo you need to go kwasurveyor general.
Right.
Wosvika woinvestigate woona title deed iri because zvese zvinenge zviriko vanenge vane marecords. Then there's another important office as well inotoendwa like lawyer anotoenda kucouncil.
Okay.
Onocheka as well, that's due diligence.
Right.
Because you might buy a property inenge ine marets, ine
Arrears.
ma-arrears.
Oh, yeah, that's making
Maybe
sense.
that property ida kutotengeswa. There is litigation iri pa-property iyoyo. So you need a lawyer to look at all those things and see the state of the property and what you're getting yourself into. The lawyer also looks at the IDs. If you have come with the seller, anoita verification yema IDs that you have submitted. Do they match with the person? Why? Because we want to avoid a situation where someone can purport to be a seller when in actual fact they are not the owner of that property.
All right. So if someone is not on that particular title deed, now the lawyer has the right to ask a question, in what capacity now are you appearing on behalf of Rumbie Zaichinyo?
So if you are representing someone, there should be a special power of attorney which authorizes you to sell that property on behalf of the owner of that property.
Gweta, I'm coming back to that issue of special power of attorney. It's a hot issue as well. But before we go to the special power of attorney, there are issues whereby tinosongonzwa client yadzoka kubva kulawyer zvichinzi pane mortgage bond, pane chidhindo chiri pa title deed. Is it possible kuti inini semunhu copy yangu inenge isina any endorsement, but then the lawyer is able to find out could there's a certain endorsement in the deeds office. Is it part of the due diligence?
It is part of the due diligence.
Okay.
Sometimes you can go as far as hiring a private investigator.
All right.
Because it's better to lose part of your money and not all of your money. You are minimizing risk.
All right.
So it's so important when the lawyer is doing the due diligence, annotate a verification if there are any encumbrances on the title deed. Kana chiti encumbrances tikura kuti maybe pane zvikwereti zvinenge zvakaindoswa mortgage bond munhu akakwereta mari kumabank.
Okay.
Kana vakwereta mari kumabank, the original inenge iri registrar inenge yakaindoswa kuti pane chikwereti. If the amount has been paid in full, inotoindoswa kunzi cancelled, panotoitwa cancellation futi with that mortgage bond. So a seller anogona kuuya netitle deed really clean and purport kuti really clean. But then if you do the due diligence, you are able to see for yourself. You are able to tell kuti no, this title deed is different from the one that we have seen in the deed registry office. So like I told you, kuti you can hire a private investigator. Private investigator anodzifambira zvakare to the extent yekuti kana kuzvitupa chaiko.
But then is a private investigator allowed to approach the deeds office, or now it needs a legal practitioner is an upper hand since they are actually qualified and authorized to do that?
Okay. A legal practitioner ndiye anoenda ku deeds office.
Okay.
But private investigator anozobatsiridzawo the legal practitioner if there is need for one. Sometimes you don't even need to hire one. So if the private investigator and the lawyer vakashanda vese kungobatsirana chete, but even a lawyer anokwanisa kuita due diligence ega asina private investigator. Due diligence involves kutoenda kusite, kuenda paground chaipo, kunoona kuti zvandiri kunzi ndo zviripo, land yacho does it exist, the location iri kunzi ndo ine land yacho does it exist. And due diligence also involves talking to neighbors as well.
All right.
You know, pane vakomana vanonzi cabin masters. Kana ari manyu stands.
Yes.
Those guys ndo vanoziva information.
You just ask
them, do you know the owner of this land? Hapana madisputes here. Some of them will tell you, land yakambotengeserwa vanhu, you know. You just have to do all that is necessary.
That's correct.
To make sure that you are satisfied with the property that you want to buy, it's clean.
Good. Now a follow-up to that question of special power of attorney. I'm seeing it as taken over, whereby you are being told that the actual owner is in Canada, but someone is appearing before me with a special power of attorney that says the owner, the special power of attorney was granted in Zimbabwe. What's your attitude to that as a legal counsel? Munhu ari kutengesa property yemunhu ari kuapia pa title deed, but what he cannot come to the transaction, he's in Canada. But at the same time, the proof that they are exhibiting to say this is the special power that I've been given by so and so to represent them is screaming endorsed Harare, Zimbabwe. What's your attitude towards that?
Ukatoona lawyer anoita special power of attorney ari muno muZimbabwe, muridzi weproperty ari kudiaspora, itori mhosva.
Okay.
Pamutemo hazvibvumidzwi.
That's correct.
Itori mhosva kana mukatoona vanhu vakadaro, report them to the Law Society of Zimbabwe. Why do I say so? A special power of attorney is notarized by a Notary Public. That's another course as well. Inotoitwa use it.
That's correct. Yes.
And not all lawyers are Notary
Publics. Yeah.
You understand? So what, as a lawyer, when you are drafting the special power of attorney, you are saying, I've seen Rumbie. She has appeared before me.
That's correct.
And she has authorized so and so to be her agent.
Right.
So that's another red flag. Inofana kutokudza kuti the owner of the property is in Australia, but I have got a special power of attorney which says it was drafted here in Zimbabwe.
That's correct.
That's another red flag. Because the owner, if he's in the diaspora, that special power of attorney should be drafted within that jurisdiction. So, for example, when I'm dealing with clients vanenge vari outside Zimbabwe, I normally communicate with the lawyer, who
Yes.
then drafts the special power of attorney. And I'm satisfied. Then I've got correspondences as well. And I also verify if the lawyer is a practicing lawyer and if the document is genuine.
All right. So it is actually a security feature to the listeners out there to make sure that if you are in Australia, have your special power of attorney notarized in Australia. So that should then anything happens in the deeds office, you can say, I was not even in Zimbabwe by such a time. But I say, it is our clients who also have a problem. They can just say, Tina, can you just have it endorsed there in Zimbabwe? So are you advising them to stick to what you were saying earlier?
Yes, because we should not break the law.
Yeah.
So we should do what is right.
That's correct.
And we should follow proper procedures when we are doing these transactions. So I implore the public to be to abide by the laws of this country. The laws of this country require that when you are drafting a special power of attorney and we are appointing someone to be your agent, you have to appear before the Notary Public,
That's
who
correct.
sees you, who interviews you, and who confirms that indeed you have appointed so and so to act on your behalf.
Thank you so much. It's coming straight from the lawyer's voice and mouth itself. Now let's move on to the issue of digitalization. It has taken over the social media. So let us move to digitalization of title deeds under section 76 of 2026. Why is digitalization being introduced? Because I have listeners out there who are wondering, is it even necessary? Why are we introducing digitalization of title deeds?
Okay, thank you for that question, Rumbie. The issue of digitalization is topical to the extent that I've seen some articles we have written on law firms claiming that they just want to take people's money, this and that, and the government is taking advantage of property owners.
Yes.
What I would want the public to know is that the process, it was introduced by government so that it can protect the property owners.
Okay.
It's not for the government to benefit,
Yes.
but it actually protects the property owner's interests.
Okay.
Why do I say so? Earlier on, you asked me about title deeds, and I
Yes.
was telling you about the essential features. Previously, we used to do that process manually. So now digitalization, we are saying things are going to be digitalized.
Okay.
Takufambirana nenguva. Even in courts nowadays, the Judiciary Service Commission introduced what is called ECMS.
Yes, that's correct.
The court has gone paperless.
Yes.
We are no longer drafting papers and typing, filing them. Everything is now being done electronically.
Okay.
So this is exactly the same process that
All
we're
right.
doing. So the Deeds Registry Office has introduced this system, and currently the registrar is the Deeds Registry Office is training lawyers on how to navigate within the portal.
Okay.
What does it mean? It means that when you had your old
Title. Yes.
the physical copy,
Yes.
you are now going to engage a lawyer. You pay the requisite fees. After paying the requisite fees, there are certain requirements that you must submit to that lawyer. You submit the original title deed. You submit your certified copies of ID, and you also appear before that lawyer.
Okay.
And the lawyer has been equipped with machinery to do the process. They've been given POS machines
Okay.
where they will use to be able to go on the DeLAR.
All right.
Yes.
If you can hold on the follow-up question. You said we are going paperless. Are you saying I will no longer have any paper whatsoever to then say this is my title deed? Or it's dual?
Okay, it's dual.
Perfect.
You will have a copy, but you will have a copy which is different from the old copies that we used to have.
Okay.
Why do I say so? This copy is going to be distinct.
Right.
It will have special features.
Okay.
For example, it will have a watermark.
All right.
It will have a QR code. So that will protect you regarding your property. And it will be tamper-proof. earlier on you talked about people selling properties that do not belong to themselves. So this process was introduced to curb offenses of fraud,
Okay.
which were happening within the system.
And in a way, so it also means that we will have one format of a title. As long as you're from Zimbabwe, we are able to see if this title deed is from Zimbabwe.
Yes. And it will be easy to do the due diligence that we were talking about earlier on.
Right.
Because things are now digitalized. Lawyers can now go on in the system.
All right.
They don't even need to physically go to the deeds registry office.
Okay.
They'll go into the system, they can search for a title deed, then they see it. Another interesting thing is that lawyers will also have to submit the fingerprints of the owners.
Okay, all
of
right.
the property.
Now, that's a way of making sure that no one else
Can
will
pay
tamper
court.
around with my property rights.
I agree.
Oh, interesting. So now you have mentioned it, but I would want us to go through it again. So how does one digitalize or validate a title deed? You mentioned requirements and you mentioned a lawyer being involved, but how does one then get into the process to now say, okay, Rumbie, I'm now digitalizing my title deed?
Okay, in this circumstances, everyone is mandated to do that process,
Alright.
because it's now a law.
Okay.
So one cannot say, I will not do it. You must do it, and you shall
All right.
do it.
So how do I start? I just
How do
approach you.
You approach a conveyancer.
Okay, that's
Not
correct.
all lawyers.
Yes, are conveyancers.
Yes.
Yes.
You approach a conveyancer who has been trained by the deeds registry office,
That's correct.
and who has the POS machine to do that process.
Okay.
Once you approach that lawyer, you pay the requisite fees.
All right.
So in terms of the statutory fees that are required, they come up to about $100,
Okay.
Which is split into two.
Okay.
There is a $70.
Legal words cancelled. By statutory, we are trying to kindly unpack. Is this the money that goes to the lawyer, or is the money that goes to the deeds office?
Okay, let's say
Yes.
it goes to the government.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Yes. You are making life easy for us.
Yeah, it goes to the government.
Yeah.
So the fees that have been set so far, which is confirmed and which has been published by the Law Society,
Yeah.
it's $100
Okay.
for legal fees for doing that process,
Okay.
excluding VAT.
So I have the 100 for the lawyer.
Yes.
And then I have the statutory fee, the other 100,
Excluding VAT
excluding VAT.
and disbursements.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And consultation, I believe, in case someone wants to.
Yes. Like I said, that will vary
Okay.
depending on the lawyer that you are dealing with
All right.
in
That's
that
okay.
transaction.
All right. So now I have approached you. I have paid the money. What else am I coming with before the conveyancer?
Before the conveyancing.
Yes.
Okay. You have to come with your ID.
Okay.
And you have to come with the title deed, the hard copy. And there are other documents that are then drafted by the lawyer.
Okay.
For example, certain affidavits.
Okay.
So these processes, they vary depending on ownership of the property.
All right.
If it's a company, you have to come with your company documents,
Okay.
your certificate of incorporation,
Okay.
and you also need to, if you are representing a company, you also need to bring your board resolution.
Yeah.
And when we move to the trust, you need to come with a board resolution to
Of the
say
trust, yeah.
you are going to be representing the trust. This is so and so, the trust deed, the deed of transfer, all those documents.
So this is happening to everyone and every entity, individuals, trust, estates, and what else you mentioned? Companies. So no one is being left behind.
No one is being left behind.
Interesting. So this is a good notion that our government has taken from what you have said. But then there are myths around the digitalization. Maybe before I ask the ones that I have here, what is one of the most funniest speculation or myths that you have heard so far concerning digitalization?
The funniest.
Yes.
You know, when things are being introduced, some people are skeptical. They are not eager to be on board.
Okay.
But as time progresses, you see that people start understanding the process and warming up. So the funniest thing that I've heard is that the government wants to make money out of people. Yes, but I think when we are looking at this process, let's focus on securitization.
Right.
You are securing your property.
Right.
It's for your own benefit.
So it means even if I'm in Canada and I have properties in Zimbabwe, at one point when everything has been done, I'll be able to ask my lawyer to check if the title deed is okay, and I'll still be able to access it as well.
Yes, at some point.
Counsel, you said there will be a system. I understand it's the DLAB system, which means we can now access what is happening in the registrar's office online. My question is, who has access to that DLAB actually? Who has access?
Okay, for the benefit of the viewers, DLAB stands for Digital Land Administration Portal.
Yes.
So like I told you before, that lawyers are being trained. Once they are trained and accredited, they are then onboarded onto the system.
All right.
So lawyers for now have access to that system.
All right.
Yes.
Interesting. So one of the myths, I had asked you about the funniest that you've had so far. The other one that I have here is it true that a rate clearance certificate is required? Is it true that I have to go before ZIMRA again? Is it true that I need to pay a conveyancing fee for this particular digitalization of my title deeds to happen? I asked 3 myths at the same time in the interest of time.
Okay, yeah, it's very important so that the public is aware of these processes. A rates clearance certificate is not required.
That's a myth. It's not required.
Yes. You do not need to pay capital gains tax.
That's another myth. It's not required.
Yes. So what is important regarding this
conveyancing fee?
Conveyancing fee, I've talked about that, $100.
All right. So there is no conveyancing fee on digitalization.
Yes.
It's just digitalization, as you were saying.
I assume when you say people are asking whether they need to pay the conveyancing fees, they are referring to that 3%.
Yes.
Which they normally pay, the 3% of the value of the property. That 3% is not being paid.
Right.
Yes.
It is very important because my inbox has been burning in relation to that. So moving on, if deeds are online, I have asked this, property owners are worried about their privacy, right? Is the online part of it only referring to the portal that we're using, or is actually something that can then be found on Google? It's also another myth.
Okay, it's referring to the DLAB system.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Interesting. So now we are going to the other segment of our discussion here, whereby we are now talking about development. So I would want us to talk about buying land under land developers. What is developerization? Because this has been one of the most interesting things that are happening. Someone doesn't have a title deed, someone doesn't have a cancellation, but they say I have developerization. From your legal aspect and your professional capacity, what is developerization rather?
The land tenure in Zimbabwe differs. There is state land and there is freehold, privately owned land.
Okay.
So it actually depends how the land was acquired. If it was acquired through the state, that's when you need that session, because it goes through the council.
Okay.
But if it's privately owned, I've noted that of late the government has gazetted some farms, and especially right here in Harare, we have seen a lot of areas being earmarked for urban development.
Okay.
Those areas were once farms. So what is now happening when the landowner wants to change use to residential, there are certain applications that have to be made with the stakeholders.
Okay.
They apply for change of use, and they also do some consultations, stakeholder consultations. They go through certain offices, certain promises, certain offices, and they should acquire the necessary permits to allow them to do the development.
Yeah.
But for the viewers out there, when you want to buy land that is being developed, you need to, if it's private land, there should be a parent deed. There should be a parent deed, and there should be a subdivision permit. In addition to that, you should be shown the developer's permit, which allows for that kind of development. Then another essential document that should be there is the AIA certificate, Environmental Impact Assessment certificate. You should also be given the EIA certificate.
All right.
Yes.
So now if you have those 4 key things, you can now safely say, I'm entering into an agreement with the developer, and I can be having a developer session in the interim, pending the council session that you mentioned. Or pending title.
If it's private land, it doesn't involve the council.
All right.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, when we have the parent deed, that parent deed is the one which is going to then create other deeds for purchasers.
All right.
Yes. They'll be developed from that.
All right.
Yes.
So pending that, you will need these 4 key documents which you mentioned: the parent deed itself, the subdivision permit, the development permit, and the EMA certificate you mentioned.
Yes.
Okay.
There are also 2 other very important documents that you should have. You should have a certificate of no present interest, which shows that the government has no interest in acquiring the farm. And it is so important to have that. And a subdivision permit. If there is no subdivision permit, then you cannot buy that type of land. Yes.
Interesting. So we spoke of due diligence earlier on when we were talking about due diligence in relation to freehold title. But you are also saying this becomes relevant when we are doing due diligence for people who want to buy possibly, let's say, stands or agro-residential plots, but that do not yet have individual title but are still under parent deed. So confirm that due diligence is still essential even in this type of land.
Due diligence is still essential. What am I saying? A lawyer is very important. I've seen people who say lawyers just want to get our money, but it's not really necessary to have one. That's why in law school, conveyancing is actually taught as a module. And if you do not pass that module, and if you do not hold the certificate, then you are not able to do that type of work. You are not allowed in terms of the law to do that type of work. So any land transaction, a lawyer is required. A conveyancer
is also required.
Is required.
That's correct.
So you find that there is no transaction which you can do that does not have a lawyer involved. Normally the developers, they've got what they call project lawyers, who advise them in terms of compliance regarding paperwork or terms and conditions which come with the subdivision permit. Because when the subdivision permit comes, it's got terms and conditions that say you need to put roads, you need to put a sewer, you need to put A, B, and C. Yes. And when the developer is complied with those conditions, that's when they get their certificate of compliance. But it does not mean that you cannot purchase land without a certificate of compliance. The law says where there is a subdivision permit, which clearly demarcates the property.
As long as it can be identified.
As long as it can be identified and the subdivision permit has been approved by the local council.
You are going exactly where I want you to go. Now, you are saying, if I can have a recap, you are able to be in an agreement of sale pending certificate of compliance. I'll call it COC. Right. So in the event that I've engaged a developer who has told me that we will eventually have TARs, we will eventually have sewer connection, we will eventually have water reticulation, but however, they do not comply to that agreement of sale, what any recourse or remedies do I have? Because it's in my developers are possibly just saying, purchase this, we are going to do this. They have all the other documents that you have mentioned, but then they are not getting to the certificate of compliance. Do I have a recourse?
Yes, there's a recourse. You can compel them to obtain the certificate of compliance.
All right.
The law protects the public.
Okay.
So you can have your association, your residents association, you come up together and you sue the developer.
All right.
Because when they were issued with the subdivision permit, they were given conditions that they had to satisfy. So in the event that they fail to satisfy those requirements, then there is recourse, there is relief that you can get from the court.
Interesting. But that is if only they have a proper and a binding legal document. What's your comment to my affidavit, counsel? I don't know my affidavit is my agreement of sale.
To the public out there, affidavit, I say agreement of sale. Agreement of sale, draft wana gweta, draft wana conveyancer. Why should it be drafted by a conveyancer? Because gweta knows the essential clauses that protect you as the purchaser. Because when you're buying a property, you're an innocent purchaser. Therefore, you have to be protected. That agreement of sale clearly states how much you're supposed to pay.
Okay.
Which property are you buying? It has to be clearly described. For example, you talked about the development permit.
Yes.
And the subdivision permit. The subdivision permit actually indicates that there is stand number so and so, measuring so and so square meters. That also has to be captured in the agreement of sale. So the lawyer knows the essential clauses that relate to breach, that relates to when the money is due, how much has been paid, and who has paid how much, who is the seller. The lawyer will identify the seller and the purchaser, and the purchaser and seller have to sign on the agreement of sale, confirming that indeed they've done this transaction. So if you circumvent those processes, you might have problems, because you may pay for land and you never get the land. But the affidavit will not provide any relief to say, in the event that you have been duped, how are you going to recover the money that you have been paid?
Interesting, counsel. Thank you so much for such a great insight. Now, due to our time, I'm going to ask you to summarize this as fast as you can. In relation to demolitions, I have been reading about demolitions in Stone Ridge lately, demolitions at Warwick Farm, demolitions at Belvedere, Marlborough, etc., etc. But then I would want you to comment on what really causes demolitions in summary, and can they be avoided? It seems like all land in Zimbabwe, especially the one that is now being sold by developers, is subject to demolition.
Okay, it still goes back to what we have talked before. Due diligence.
Okay.
The issues are being caused by illegal settlement.
Yes.
People are just erecting a flag, then they go and they settle at a certain piece of land. But this is probably private land.
All right.
Or sometimes this is council land, state land.
Or there's a dispute.
Yes, or there's a dispute, a pending dispute. So it's not a new thing. There are statutory provisions which allow for demolition.
I will stop you right there, but we will definitely have to call you again. So stay with us as we are going to have again as our guest, unpacking issues concerning demolition, unpacking issues concerning group buying and sub deals. Interesting topics are to come. But thank you so much for coming and being part of our show.
Thank you, Rumbie, for hosting me. It's been a pleasure being on the show.
You're welcome, ma'am.